Hi everyone! Welcome to Artsonia's After School Art Club. Today we have a fun art project from Mrs. Frobase, an art teacher from Pennsylvania. Hope you enjoy the video and don't forget to have your artwork uploaded to your Artsonia gallery.
Hi everyone, welcome to the studio. Today we'll be making ancient Pueblo homes using chalk. Come on in. Let's take a look at some photos for our inspiration first. Pueblos were the Native American communities found out in the Southwest, such as Arizona and in New Mexico. The homes were built of adobe and usually stacked. You can see many doorways and ladders leading up to the many levels. For this project, you'll need some white paper, some cardstock, or other thicker paper, a piece of construction paper to make a frame, scissors, oil pastels, a pencil, a black Sharpie, pastels or paper chalk, and some paper towels. I'm going to start with my oak tag or my cardstock, and I'm going to create a stencil. This is going to be the tops of the buildings or the homes. So I'm going to create a series of lines almost like the top of a cityscape, but you don't want it to be real tall like a skyscraper. So I'm going to go from left to right. I'm also going to make one above that's a little bit different. We want to have a nice variety of buildings. And then you can go ahead and cut right along your pencil lines. Now you should have 3 stencils to choose from, but I'm going to put those aside for now and get out my white sheet of paper. Then I'm going to choose the pastels that I want to use. I'm going to pick kind of a reddish brown, maybe a little neutral brown mixed in there for the homes. I'm going to take my first stencil. This is going to be the very top or the farthest layer. And I'm just going to move it aside as I'm putting the chalk on or the pastels. I don't want to get it on my white paper. And I'm just going to start by coloring the edges right on top, right across from left to right. And since I have a little bit of the reddish brown, I'm just going to go right over top because I want those to be able to blend together. Once I'm finished covering that, I'm going to put it fairly high up on my paper, and I'm going to take a piece of a paper towel, and with one hand I'm going to hold my oak tag and I'm going to just blend the color downward. Now you're just going to keep doing the same thing with different stencils, or you can even flip it over to the back and use the same stencil, see what looks good, and just repeat. I'm going to do about 3 layers, but depending on the size of your paper, you could probably stack them even more. Now I'm going to work on the sky, so I'm going to take a clean paper towel and I'm going to pick a few colors of the pastels that I'd like to use for my sky. I'm going to pick some turquoise and blue. When I'm coloring with these, I'm going to use them very gently on their sides just to lay down a little bit of the color that I can work with. I'm going to overlap them a little bit. And then I'm going to take my paper towel and use that to mix and blend them and fill in the sky. Now we're going to add a few details using oil pastels. And you don't need too many colors. I'm going to use black and brown, but if you have other details that you want to add, you might want to use other colors. It's up to you. You're the artist, you decide. Now I'm just going to think back to the photographs that we looked at earlier and what are some of the details that make these look like the Pueblos. I'm going to add some doors, so some simple rectangles, probably some windows, and of course the ladders climbing up to each level. Now I'm going to use this color paper as my background or to put a border or a frame around it. So I'm going to put a little glue on the back and attach it to the frame so I can add one more design. Now for the final step then, after this, you're going to need a Sharpie. I'm going to create a frame or a border around my artwork using some different lines, maybe some Native American symbols would look good. I'm going to keep my design fairly symmetrical or balanced. You might want to put a design or a symbol in each of the corners or repeat your line design all the way around to create a frame.